Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and participants of Speechcraft event. I'm Kerwin, the Toastmaster of this evening. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our speaker today, Dr. YKK. Before I invite him out for the presentation, let me introduce something about him. Dr. YKK was a chartered member of Kochi ToastMasters Club in 1987, the same club where Malaysia's first international president of ToastMasters, Dr. John Lau, came from. Dr. YKK was the first person in Sabah and Sarawak to qualify as a CTM. He served in the Malaysian government for 24 years. Using this time, he had written speeches for the several ministers, including Deputy Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, and a Prime Minister as well. He also launched his own company, known as Mind Bloom Consulting, in 1999, providing training and consulting in creativity and innovation to senior officials in both the public and private sectors. He was the only person from among the 54 Commonwealth countries to be appointed as a creativity advisor to Lego, the world-famous toy company. In 2006, he was granted the extremely rare Distinguished Talent Visa, 124, that enabled him to move to Australia in 2007. Dr. YKK is an international speaker and best-selling author. His best-selling has been published in 6 languages and now in its 5th edition. These are the books which I have mentioned just now, and maybe you can have a look afterwards. I'm glad that Dr. YKK has returned to Malaysia. Bagan, Ajam ToastMasters Club is fortunate to have him as the member as well as the advisors. And please give a big hand to Dr. YKK, our presenter you, Dr. YKK.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm on microphone. Okay, tonight I'm in for a treat because I'm going to have a lot of fun and I'm going to learn a lot of great things. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Yes. Today, I'm not going to make you a good speaker. Today, I'm going to make you a great speaker. Not an amateur speaker, but I tried my very best, to do my very best to elevate your standard to a professional level. Are you happy with that?
Yes.
So, you have to play along with me. There are a lot of games to play, and you need to dance also. You like to dance?
Yes.
Right. You have a great dancer here. Maybe you can demonstrate the Macarena. And that's the reason, everything I do, that's the reason. You know why Macarena? You know what's Macarena? I'm not good at dancing, right? Right? You know this? Then touch here, touch there. Left and right. Brain integration, very good for the brain, very good for creativity. But before we do that, I've designed a special laughter for Toastmasters. This is called Toastmasters laughter. Have you heard of Toastmasters laughter? Never, because this is the first time I created for you. Alright? So please stand up. Yeah, so let me see. You can see me, yeah? Now, what are the most important things in Toastmasters? You see, this laughter, I learned it from the guru. It's called Dr. Bagan. I haven't heard of him. He has founded thousands of laughter clubs all over the world. He's a doctor, a specialist doctor. And he found that laughter does 3 things. You know what are 3 things? Makes you very creative. You laugh. Makes you happy, isn't it? Yes. What else?
Relax.
Makes you healthy. Do you know that about less than 10 years ago, I joined a group of CEOs to climb Mount Kinabalu. There were 9 of us. They were the 30s, 40s, and 50s. I never exercised. I never got to the gym a single day in the gym. And guess what? That time I was past my mid-50s. And I climbed Mount Kinabalu and beat everybody I was there first. Because I laugh a lot. Right? And not only that, I climbed twice in one day. Alright? So the mental is more important than physical. Right? Laugh a lot is good for you. So let's learn how to laugh. So you follow me. What is the first thing Toastmasters should do? He did not use the slogan anymore, but the first thing is listen. Put your hand behind your ears. Listen first. Listen. That was the next thing. Listening, thinking, then open your mouth, speaking. And then communicating. Right? Communicating. And you are a great communicator. What do? You laugh. You throw your head back and ha ha! Okay. You don't need a reason to laugh. Right? The body doesn't know the differences. It will give you all the health effects. Right? Can I try that again? Can you remember? Toastmasters is about listening, then thinking, speaking of your mouth, and then communicating. Right? Then after that, ha ha ha! Okay, one last time. Can someone go do it? You want to try it? Here, okay. This is one of the greatest scientists in the world, Darwin. Okay.
So first is listening. Second is thinking. Third is
speaking over the mouth.
Then communicating. Then
okay, give a high 10 to 5 people around you before you sit down.
One more.
Okay, Charlie, can you just lead the Macarena?
So putting it all together, this is what it would look like.
Come. People, big hand. Everybody stand up and dance the Macarena. It's good for your brain and soul. Or you can pause the video. Never mind, forget it. Okay, there's a problem. I don't know why it does. Okay. Okay, it's all right.
Second one, I would like to make a request that please switch your phone to silent mode, please. I don't believe impossible. Otherwise, silent mode to prevent unnecessary interruption. And I'm sorry that today you are not having the agenda. So please stand. Thank you.
Okay, please down. Please sit down. Macarena afterwards. Macarena there.
Terima kasih.
Okay, today we are going to do something different. Waiting for the projector. We are going to do speech 3 and 4, project 3 and 4, the competent communicator manual. How many of you have done that? 3 and 4, you've done that? 3 only. So it's very important. And what have you been told about the that body language is 55%, vocal writing is 38%, and then words are 7%. Have you heard of that? How many of you heard of that? Okay, for those who have not heard, it's good because it's total rubbish. It's total rubbish. And people keep on repeating that body language is 55%, vocal writing is 38%, the words form only 7%. That's total rubbish. All right, and keep on being repeated everywhere. A lot of training manuals or articles saying that the words only 7%. And words actually are the most powerful part of speech. You know that? Words can start a war. You know Adolf Hitler? He started the Second World War with his words. He motivated the people by his words. How many of you watched the movie The King's Speech? What is that about?
About a king who cannot speak properly.
Yeah, but basically the words are also powerful, very important, right? He does not speak, but he spoke on radio, so you can't see his body language at all. But he transformed the country, right? So it's very important that we do that. So today, we are going to learn, debunk that. That actually was started research by Albert Merabi. And you know what he studied all about? That's why sometimes I don't simply take things for granted. A lot of people, this has been repeated again and again, saying that ridiculous things about 55% body language in your presentation, 38% vocal writing, and 7% words. Actually, the words, the power words, is 4 times more important, more powerful than everything else combined. The words are the most important. Right, so today, the whole thing is about the right use of words. Words are powerful. Right? And afterwards, I show you the statistics of this. Now, the thing is that if you look at I just go through the speech you have here, the 6-page notes here. I just go through so you know what I expect about the getting ready. This just one page will have covered the entire thing we shared with you today. Number 1, the 4 S of speech preparation. What are the four things? Number 1 is what? Use short words. Don't try to use big words. Number 2 is use short sentences. Number 3 is use short paragraphs. Number 4, sparingly use long words, long paragraphs. Sparingly. Alright, it's very important that you do not use too much. Because nowadays, if you study the best-selling novels, the best-selling books, and this has been done by study, not by me. They found that all of them, including Harold Robbins and all those best-selling books, they use short sentences, short words, and short paragraphs. In fact, even in my writing now, most of the time, I use sometimes one sentence as one paragraph. Because the message is powerful. If you use short sentences, what happens? Use short sentences is power. And when you use short sentences and short paragraphs, what do? You pause a lot, right? You get the message hit in, punch in. 2 days ago, someone called me from Australia. I think it's outsourced, someone from India. I really marveled her. You know what happened? She doesn't need to breathe. She was talking non-stop. I have to tell her 5 times. I said, please listen to me before she stopped talking. And they're so well trained, they don't know how to breathe. They keep on talking, right? Because to be a good speaker, what is the first thing? Listening. Laughter, remember laughter? Listening is the most important skill. ToastMasters actually say that for better listening. What's the next one?
Open your mouth.
No, thinking. For better listening, better thinking, and better speaking in that order. Alright? So, I make it very easy for you. 4S. Right? What are 4S? Number 1, don't look at your note. Number 1, short words. Number 2, number 3, number 4, sparingly use long words or long sentences. That doesn't mean you cannot use, but use it sparingly. And then I have modified, if you look at speech 4, it is quite difficult to remember, so I make it very easy to remember. I call it the SMART formula. Alright, the SMART formula. What's the SMART formula? Number 1 is called simile. How many of you have heard of simile before? Yes. What is simile? As tall as a giraffe, right? As strong as a horse, or run like being chased by a ghost, and all that. So using the word as and like, and also there is, these are the things that make your speech powerful. So today you're going to learn the use of words to make your words powerful. How many of you not sure what simile? You know what simile? Number 2 is called metaphor. What is a metaphor? It's comparison from the unfamiliar to familiar. Something abstract, you put it into something real so that people can understand. For example, life is like a bed of roses. Right? That is something like simile as well, but in this case, from the unfamiliar, abstract to the real. Right? You will get a lot of examples after this. I added the A, which is not in your manual. I call it antithesis. Have you heard the word antithesis? I have no choice to use a big word because I can't find a simpler word to express the meaning. Antithesis is about contrast, opposite. Right? Because I think the A is SMART formula, so I have antithesis. And R is repetition. You keep on repeating. And triumph is the power of phrase. Okay? What is it? I have written a 2-page article on my interpretation of Dr. Martin Luther King.